to another Hometalk Live. We have a really fun holiday craft for you today. We're going to be making a wreath for your front door. And first things first, I'm Amber Oliver. I'm coming to you live from Houston, Texas. My Facebook page is tagged above, DIY at Home, and you can actually find instructions for this video in the description of, or instructions for this project in the description of this video. So go ahead and watch through, see what we're going to make today, and if you decide you want to make one for yourself, bookmark this and come back later. But we are going to make a wreath today for your front door. You can also hang it up in your house. You can make it two different ways, and I'm going to show you both ways you can do this. So you may find that it looks better up on a wall or something in your home, but there's also a cool way you can do this to hang on your front door. So you only need a couple things, and I'm pretty thrilled because I got everything for this project for less than $5. And the reason for that was because I went to the Dollar Tree and I found some wreaths that were really inexpensive. So these little wire pine wreaths were only $1 a piece. So I actually grabbed several of them because I've got some more ideas. But we're just going to use this smaller, I think this is a 16-inch size wreath. And it's a faux pine, so it's just that real scratchy kind of pine. It would normally look green, but this one's white, and that worked out perfect for the wreath I'm doing today. However, you can do this with any size wreath you want, any color, any style. The thing with the pine is that it's real pokey, and it's actually like wire, so you can bend it. So that makes this kind really good for this project. However, if you had like a wooden wreath or one of those like looks like twigs, that kind of thing, a little more rustic, you could definitely switch this up depending on your style. You may just have to make some alterations for how you're attaching the letters. So the next thing you need besides your wreath form is just some wooden cutouts. So the word we're going to spell today is joy, because that's sort of the word of the season, right? It's holidays. Today's first day of Hanukkah. We've got Christmas. 2 weeks from yesterday is Christmas. So just a lot of joyous times coming up. So we're really going to kind of hone in on that with joy. So I bought these two letters from Michael's. They were $2.50 a piece. And when I bought them, they were not red. They were actually that unfinished wood. It was sort of an MDF. And so I just painted them. I did do that off camera because paint takes a little time to dry. So I got these painted yesterday afternoon, and they're ready for us today. And just for reference, I used a chalky finish on this. It's just a bright red. It was called Romance, but you could use any kind of paint you want. This is a more chalky finish, and there's actually, they make some, you can get like outdoor paints and things like that that may stand up to the weather a little bit more. Since this is going to be out on my front porch, you don't necessarily have to do that because my porch is covered, so I don't imagine it's going to be getting wet or anything like that. But these wooden letters are really inexpensive if you find them in a craft store. You can actually usually use a coupon as well if they're full price. However, at $2.50 and $1 for the wreath, you're coming in less than $5 for your wreath. So that's pretty nice. I did try Amazon for these letters, and they were like $6 or $8 a piece. So I definitely recommend going to the craft store for these. So, okay, there are two ways you can put this together. The first way is to just, if you've got that wire wreath, the sort of pine, I say pine, it's like faux pine, right? It's supposed to look like a snow frosted one, I guess. These are very bendy, so I can actually just take these letters and set them on the edge here and just sort of wrap around the pine. So if we did this project would be done in all of 30 seconds, and you guys wouldn't even have a craft live today. So I'm just going to show you real quick that this is one way you can do it, is to just sort of tie these on like that. However, I'm going to show you one other way that I think is going to look pretty cool, and we're going to do it vertically so that we have it to hang on the front door. So for that, so again, this is the easy way, right? We're doing this joy wreath where you could just sort of tie it on or use the wire to bend it around to hold these letters in place. You could then add like embellishments, like you could do a ribbon or put a big poinsettia or some pine cones or something like that. You could definitely dress this up however you want. So I am going to show you just a little bit more complicated way you could do this. You could stop here, leave it just like that, or you could do it like I'm going to show you here. So we're actually just going to drill a couple of holes in the tops and bottom. I'm going to drill 2 holes here so that we can do string to hang this up from the door. And I'm going to drill 1 hole down here so that we can attach this wreath down below. I'm going to do the same thing on the Y down here. Let's get started. I'll show you real quick. So the only thing you need is a drill. And I've got a drill bit on here already, so we can just make a quick hole. Let's see, I'll probably just stick it right off the table and try to do it. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see with the camera, I'm just gonna eyeball it because it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just gonna make a quick little hole. All right, and we are in my office, so I'm gonna try not to make too big of a mess. Keep all this here on the table. Now I did already paint, so, and actually that came out pretty good, looky there. It didn't scratch up the paint or anything like that, so pretty good. All right, I'm gonna make one more hole, and that way we can drill, we can tie the string from the top. So let me just do that one real quick. Okay. Now again, I'm gonna try not to make a mess in the house. I don't know about you guys, but this time of year, it's a little cold where most of you guys probably live. We're down in Houston, so it's pretty warm where we are today. So we could have done this outside, but I'm just here in my office. So that being said, don't let the cold temperatures keep you from crafting. So you can do this right here in your dining room or in your kitchen, wherever. And the last hole I'm gonna drill is just right down here at the bottom.
Amber, we've got people tuning in from all across the U.S., all across the world. I saw Scotland, Australia.
Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. No matter what holiday you're celebrating this season, we've got a wreath that will help you celebrate. The word of the year here is joy. So we're just, no matter what holiday, we're just all about celebrating joy. So that's what we're making if you're just tuning in. We're gonna, oh, I have them backwards. We're putting this together. So right now what we're doing is just drilling holes at the top and bottom because we're gonna make this vertical where it hangs down the front of your door. So we've drilled the 2 holes here that we're gonna use to attach some twine, and then this to attach this. So the next part is just adding a couple holes at the top of the Y, and we don't need it at the bottom actually. So I'm gonna drill our last 2 holes and then we'll get this assembled. So if you're just tuning in, this is a wreath that we're making, and if you think you're gonna recreate this idea, go ahead and share it right now on your Facebook wall. That'll bookmark it for later. We've also got instructions for this in the description of the video above. There's a link to my Hometalk profile so you can see all the step-by-step instructions. So I'm just gonna add 2 holes here. And I'm using, this is just a little wooden letter that I got at Michael's. They're very inexpensive, about $2. It was unfinished wood that I had to paint, and I see I got it stuck on something, but it was unfinished wood. It's actually MDF technically, but that makes it very easy to just, you know, drill through real quickly, add a tiny little hole. This side I'm gonna be very careful because it is thinner. We don't want it to break off, so I'm gonna make sure that's gonna go through but not hit the table. There we go. And I am indoors, so I'm trying not to make a mess. So
we got a question about the weather in Houston. We did get snow last week, but we weren't here for it.
You guys, my husband and I went to Alaska last week in search of snow, and then it snowed in Houston, Texas for the first time in like 8 years. So kind of funny that we just missed the weather because it was actually raining up there. So kind of funny. But okay, so what I did was let me turn it around so you guys can see it properly. Since the J is it needs the holes at the top as well as the bottom because we want the string here to hold it or to hang it from the door. And then this and the holes here, that's how we're gonna attach the wreath in the middle. So we're just putting in, this is a wire wreath I found that at the Dollar Tree actually. So this is only $1 for this little wire wreath, and but you can do different sizes. However, most wreaths are pretty large, and I was kind of excited because this is a rather small one. You can see I've got a couple more here that are, this one's slightly bigger, and it just looked a little odd with the huge wreath in the middle. So the smaller one definitely works great for this. However, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, you could definitely use you may have a wreath on hand that would work great for this, and just spend $2-3 picking up a few of these letters, and you can put it together. A cool thing about the unfinished wood letters, so I painted mine solid red. You could also do like decoupage. You could put like scrapbook paper over the surface of this. You could paint it stripes. You could do whatever. So I did the red and white kind of theme. However, you could do, some blue and white, or, depending on whatever you're celebrating, what holiday, you could make your ribbons match or your different embellishments, because we could definitely dress this up with some pine cones or little snowflakes or something like that. So, okay, well, the next step after we've drilled our holes is I'm just going to use some twine and attach that there. So if there are any questions, be sure to drop those in the comments below.
So we do have some questions. I'll ask you while you're working.
Sure.
The white wreaths.
Sure.
Where did you get those? Because someone's only finding green wreaths.
So this white one I found at the Dollar Tree, and it just is called, it just says Wreath. I'm sorry, there's not a better description, but if you want to maybe take a screenshot of the tag here, I don't know if you can look up the product number maybe, or I did try searching online and I could not find the white one. So maybe just drop into your local Dollar Tree if you've got one near you, because they had these in 2 different sizes. I actually had an idea to try to make like a snowman out of these. I thought that would be kind of cool. So that's another wreath I considered making. So if you drop into your Dollar Tree, you may be able to get 2 different wreaths out of this, with like a snowman one and the joy. But a green, it would look really cute with green as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just stick this string through. I know this is like kind of boring, but okay. Let's see. So I'm just using, this is just twine that I'm just gonna tie. It's sort of a brown, you know, rustic looking, but it's cute. And I'm just tying it in a knot and then leaving a loop at the top, because the J is what's gonna hang from the door. And I've just got like a door hanger that goes over the front door. So this will hang really easily on that.
Sandra had a good idea. You could spray paint a green wreath. That might give it like a frosted look.
Totally. And for $1, if it messed up, then you wouldn't even have to worry about it. That's a great idea. There's also, if you guys have seen tree flocking, you could do that if you wanted.
Someone just commented with that, yeah.
Oh, great. Great minds think alike, right? So the flocking is this, you use like what is it called? Like a glue mixture with water that you just kind of mist over the tree, or in this case, we'd be doing it on our wreath. And then you like dust it. It's like you sift it out onto the tree or the wreath or whatever you're doing. And it looks sort of like snow dusted. It's really pretty if you've seen those like flocked trees. It's a great way to kind of get a inexpensive, so if you have like a cheap tree you picked up and you just want to try it out. Okay, so I've tied the ribbon or the twine on the top, and this is how we're going to hang it from the door. I also have a hole drilled down at the bottom here that I'm going to use to attach the wreath there. So let me grab that real quick. And this is just twine. It's nothing fancy, since, you know, the door is just going to open and close. It's not, I don't need anything that's going to like anything stronger. I think this will be just fine. However, if you live, we're from Oklahoma originally, and we get some pretty strong winds up there, so you might you might need something a little stronger if you're afraid it's going to blow away or something like that. So I'm just tying this in a double knot, nothing fancy. And if you like this project, be sure to, well, first send me some hearts. Let me know that you like this, if you think you'll remake it. You also can just tag a friend below if you think one of your friends might like this, or share it to your Facebook wall. That way you kind of bookmark it for later if you want to try to recreate this on your own. All right, the next part.
Lots of hearts coming in.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad you're loving it. I like it because, like I said, no matter what holiday you're celebrating this year, this can work. Because joy, you know, we should have joy year round. So the other kind of cool thing is that it's not just Christmas or, you know, not just Hanukkah related. It'll last, you know, into January. You could leave this up on your door and not feel like you've, you know, left Christmas lingering too long or something like that. So I did give it a little bit of, I don't know if you can tell, some space there. I didn't do it real tight. That way you can still see that it's a J.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just kind of fluff the branches around it. It's kind of like your Christmas tree where you have to go through and like fluff it to make it look good. And our last step is this Y. And I'm gonna, let's see, how can we do this? So the Y, I have to attach 2 sides. So, I think I will tie it onto here first and then tie either side. Let's try that.
Now, Amber, you go back and comment on some of the questions that we don't get to, right?
Sure thing. If we haven't answered your question, be sure you go ahead and drop a comment below. I do try to go back and answer those.
And usually the viewers have really good ideas.
Yeah, you guys are so good about helping each other out. That's the great thing about Hometalk, is it's definitely a community on here. So ask your fellow Hometalkers in the comments, or just leave a comment below. Like I said, I'll try to go back. There's also, this project is linked above. You can go to my Hometalk profile, and there you can ask questions on the project itself. You could also just message me on there if you get stuck on something. So
now, does it matter which way the Y goes? Frontwards, backwards?
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't know.
Well, this is the back because it has a sticker, so I assume that this is correct.
Okay.
You guys send me hearts or thumbs up if this is right. I think the thicker side goes on this side, so. Now, if you guys can think of any other 3-letter words, maybe we could come up with another project idea as well. That could be kind of fun. But joy was just an easy one, and I really like the word joy, so. Okay. I'm hoping this hangs straight, so we may have to make some adjustments after I get this threaded through here. And then the last thing I'm going to actually add is a ribbon. I'm going to do a big bow on it as well, so let's see if that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to tie this in a little knot.
So we've got some more ideas coming in.
Let's hear it.
You could write your last name in the thick part of the Y. Mm-hmm. Or you could make the word home.
Oh, home. That would be a good one, too.
Mm-hmm.
A little long, but you could maybe use smaller letters or something if you didn't want it hanging, all the way down your door. That's cute. I like the home. That could also go up, like, on the wall in your house. Maybe not necessarily as a wreath, but just sort of hanging up in your home. That's a really cute idea. All right. I'm doing my last little knot here. I'm trying to make sure this Y is straight.
And there's all kinds of debate about if the Y is frontwards or backwards. I can tell it's a Y.
I can tell it's a Y too. Like I said, the sticker was on the back. It was on the other side, so I assumed it was this way. So I'm very sorry if I've offended anyone's Y.
Oh, Mom for Mother's Day. That would be a good one.
Oh, Mom, that's very cute. And I like that someone said to put like their family name. You could then like monogram it or something, make it as a gift. That's really cute. Keep the ideas coming. Those are wonderful. Okay, so the last thing here is to just kind of fluff it around, and then you can kind of see it coming together. So the last thing I'm going to do is add just a little bow on the side. And I'm going to show you guys, if you want to bring the camera around here, a little trick that I do. So instead of just doing a normal bow like you tie your shoes, I call this like the 6-loop bow. So it's just, you bring out as much as you want your, like the tail to be on the bow, and just sort of make a big loop. And then twist it around. So this is a wire ribbon, so it's nice and stiff that it kind of stays in place. And so after you've twisted it, just create another loop. And we're gonna do this about 6 times, if I have enough ribbon. I'm not sure how much is left on this roll. So you're just kind of straighten out your bow as you're coming along, and just make your little loops and twist them around each time. Okay, it's probably hard to tell, but I'm basically just making a bunch of loops, and I'm straightening out the ribbon each time, and you'll see here in just a second. And instead of just being a little bow like you do on your shoes or something like that, it's just a little bit thicker, a little fuller.
And you're making 6 of these?
It's just 6 little loops that I'm doing, yeah.
Okay.
And you'll see I'll straighten it out at the end, and it'll look cute, I promise. So this is just, I'm just gonna add a bow to this so it has a little bit of embellishment. You could, tie on a big poinsettia flower or something like that, or even, I don't know, pine cones, or someone was talking about putting their last name or something. So a little sign over to the side or something like that. So that's the fun thing about these Hometalk Lives, is hopefully we're just inspiring you to create a new project, but then we hope that you, of course, take that on and, make it your own, customize it. Maybe you're not going to do red and white. You're going to do, green and blue, or I don't know, what other Christmas. Blue and white. Blue and white would be pretty. Okay, my little bow. So now that I've got it here, I'm actually going to use sorry, someone knocked at our front door, so the dog is barking. But I'm going to use I'd save these. Do you want to try to close that door real quick? Just close the door. Okay, buddy.
I think we have a delivery.
Yeah, we got a delivery, so the dog was barking. Sorry about that. If you guys have dogs, you know what that's like, because he's going to bark at the door. But so I made this little bow, and I'm just going to use, I saved twist ties from our bread packages, because these come in handy a lot of times. And so like for today, I'm going to use it to attach the little bow onto the project. So I'm just going to kind of go right through the middle. Shh, buddy, be quiet.
Yeah, I was wondering about the bow, how you were going to keep it all together. And
yeah, so I cut the ends, but this is a green one, so that works out really perfectly. And then after we get it on here, we'll kind of fluff it and everything. So I'll just kind of stick it over here on the side, but I'm using that twist tie. You may have there may be other things you can use for this, but I've just found that the bread twist ties work perfectly. So I'm just wrapping it around here, trying not to mess up all my strings. Okay, the dog. So now I've got this ribbon. And this is a wire ribbon, so you can just kind of fluff it in so that it looks nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like it. This is the finished product. I'm gonna hang it up here and just show you what it looks like.
Gotta make sure I don't step on the dog.
Of course, it might look a little busy on here, but that kind of gives you an idea.
Yeah.
The little bow. So yeah, this is what we're gonna hang on our front door. We've got joy, so we can spread a little holiday cheer this year with a little bit of joy. And it was a simple project, cost about $5 for all these materials. I already had the ribbon on hand. And you may find that you've already got like a little wreath on hand as well. So, but this one was from the Dollar Tree. So we got a good deal on this, and we're gonna hang this on the front door. And that's it. So there's a link to the project in the description of this video. You can share this video onto your Facebook wall so that you kind of bookmark it for later if you think you want to do this project. Also tag a friend if you've got someone out there that you think might enjoy this.
So the Hometalk folks were talking to me. I didn't hear what they said. Oh, do you want to hang it on the front door?
Sure thing.
Okay.
We can see what our package was since we just got a delivery apparently.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, try not to show all the messiness.
Here's the dog. People were asking about Barkley.
Oh, that's Barkley. He's, yeah. What is it, buddy? All right.
Stay.
Get back in the house.
We still got some pumpkins up too.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, with the blue door. That looks good. That looks really nice.
So yeah, here we have it hanging on the door. So this is just a wreath hanger. These are great because, and actually a little trick too, I put a Band-Aid on the back of it because that keeps it from scratching off the paint because it rubs right here. So I just put a Band-Aid to keep that, because it was rubbing off the paint. So that's just a little trick for you there. And now this one might, move around a bit, so we may have to find a way to kind of anchor it because I can already tell it flipped around there. But yeah, so there we go. There's our joy wreath. Hope you liked it. Send some hearts. Let us know if you thought this was a cool project. And if you think you're gonna recreate it, just share it to your Facebook wall or tag a friend that you think might like it. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you're celebrating this year. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I'll have another craft for you guys on Monday, and we've got several more for you throughout the week with some of our awesome Hometalk Live hosts. So thanks for watching, and see you all soon.